Leetcode 338, counting bits, and it's an easy problem, but maybe not that easy as other easy problems, and here is the description. Given an integer n, return an array n's of length n plus 1. Yeah, so that's our only input, this n, and we will have to produce an array as a result, as our output, and this array will have n plus 1 elements inside. Yeah, so as many as this input number plus additional 1, such that for each I, and I is between 0 and n, yeah, because of course we start indexing in arrays from 0. Here's very important information. Each element on a given index is the number of ones in the binary representation of what? Not of this n, but of given I. Yeah, so we will have by the last element the number of bits, or the number, not the number of bits, the number of ones in a binary representation of n. The previous element is number of ones in the binary representation of n minus 1, then n minus 2, and so on and so forth. And the very first is, of course, the number of ones in 0, which is 0. And the trick here is to figure out, or to know, because probably it's quite hard to figure out, especially if you've never heard about those relations before, what is the relation between the counts of ones in different in binary representation of different numbers. And of course there is some relation, there is a certain formula, and you will not have to recompute it for each element separately, which would be like brute force solution, but this is of course not efficient enough, and you have to observe something or know something ahead. And we'll talk about it in a second. But here are examples, just to clarify what exactly do they want. N is equal to 2, and here the output is 0, 1, and 1. Yeah, so the number of zeros in 0 is 0, then the number of ones in ones is 1, number of ones in binary 2 is also 1. Yeah, and as you can see, the second example has n5, but the beginning is exactly the same, yeah, because this doesn't depend, like the elements themselves are always independent, they are always the same, just the length of this array is dependent on the input. And so we could also, for example, pre-compute all the possible options in the like fastest possible way. And for example, if all the n's are like here, you have a very limited number of n's, so we could just pre-compute it and then use a cache and return the output, since it's a very limited set of possibilities. Yeah, but here is the second example. As we said, the first 3 elements are the same. Then we have 2. That's because we have 2 ones in binary 3, and we have also 2 ones in binary 5. That's more or less it. Let me copy this. Not in the URL here. And that would be our number I. And that's the binary representation of I. Let's call it bin I. Like this. Not too big, not too small. This I can be a bit bigger. And that's it. And we want to count the bits. Maybe let's first discuss the brute force, and then we'll go back to this example. Yeah, so the brute force solution would be find a way to count the bits in any number and then recompute for each element separately. Yeah, and we could do it using two operations, and that would be the bitwise AND and shift to the right by 1, which is also in integer division. Yeah, using those two bitwise operations, we can count the number of set bits or the number of ones in the binary representation, and we could reuse it for each element. But let's just take a look into this, since that's also worthwhile to notice how it would work. We would basically, let's copy one number from here. 5 is 101. Yeah, and bitwise AND, using bitwise AND, you can get the last number, or sorry, not the last number, the last digit, yeah, and or the last bit, because any number, no matter how big it is in its binary representation, if you use bitwise AND, and on one side to give this number and on the other side to give 1, then it always checks the last digit. Yeah, so this and 1 gives you the result always between the last digit and 1. And of course, AND gives only 1 as an output if both are 1. Yeah, so or truth and truth on truth and truth produces truth, and truth and anything else produces false, or both falsehoods also produce false in this bitwise AND. And using this, you can always get the last digit using bitwise AND and giving 1, and this will result in this case in 1. And then you can shift to the right by 1, which will produce what will remove the last digit. Yeah, so shift to the right by 1 removes the last digit, which is equal to, which is the same operation as integer division by 2. And now you can again do this, and you can, and in this case, and you can continue using those two operations up until there is nothing left in this number. Yeah, up until you divide it as many times that you will end up with 0 at some point. Yeah, and of course 0 and 1 is 0, and then you can shift to the right again. Yeah, shifting to the right removes the last digit, and now you have just 1 and 1 and 1 produce 1. Yeah, and those results you would store in some additional variable, result in called result, called whatever, doesn't matter how it's called, and you would first have 1, then 1 plus 0, 1 plus 1, 2, and this is the output for the number of bits which are set. Alright, so that's the brute force solution. The intelligent solution notices a pattern between the numbers, which we'll show here in a second, and this pattern is as following. So you can store, or we will store the results, maybe without any storage. Let's first discuss the pattern. So the number of set bits for any number, or the count, maybe do not repeat number multiple times, for any number n is equal to the count for n divided using integer division by 2 plus n and 1. Okay? And using this observation, you can compute all the results without doing any recalculations. So for each number, you would just calculate it once, and you would not need to do this loop for each number separately. And how does it work? So what is the count? Here is, of course, 0. Here is 1. Here is 1 as well. Here is 2. We have 2 ones, and here is 1. Yeah? So let's take a look at 3. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Yeah? And because it's an integer division, then we end up with 1. Yeah, and we take this count. And then we do 3 and 1, which is this number and 1. And the last bit is 1 and 1 are the same, meaning that we have to add to our previous result, which was 1, another 1. And we have 1 plus 1 equals 2. If we check it for, let's say, 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. The count for 2 is 1. And then 4 and 1 gives 0. And because the last digit is 0, and we just get the same as the previous count plus 0, which is 1. And the last check is for number 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Integer division is 2, and the previous count is 1. And then we do 5 and 1, which is in this case 1. And 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And that's it. That's the whole story behind this relation, which if you are extremely smart, you may figure out it on its own, on your own. And otherwise, if you are just a mere mortal, you would have to know it ahead if you were to solve that problem efficiently. So now let's try to implement both solutions, and just for the sake of it, so let's create the result and store n plus 1 zeros first. And first we can, let's do this inefficient solution. So let's create count bits a private function inside the function, or an internal function, just a helper, which for any number will do the following operation. So first let's do the brute force solution and see how it goes. So basically we do count is 0, and while number still has anything inside, we do count plus equal what? The number and 1, the current number. and 1. And then we divide by 2, which we can do using the shift operation. And that's the integer division. And by the end, we return the count. That's it. And here we could go simply by, for I in range n plus 1 to n plus 1. And result on index I will be equal to count bits for given I. And we could do it a bit faster if we use list comprehension, but either way it will not be efficient. So let's just try like this to check if our result is correct. It's correct for the first 2 cases. We can submit and see that it's very slow. So we just beat 17%. Now let's do this other solution. So let's comment this part out and use this relation between current number and the number which is equal to integer division of this of our current number by 2 plus this current number and bitwise and 1. So this will leave like this, and result on index I will be result on index I shifted to the right by 1, which is integer division, plus result and 1. Let's run it again. And there's some error. Sorry, not result. Here should be I. Yeah, and let's see. Before we were here, and now we are almost at the end. And if we try to resubmit and try in a second, probably will be even by the very end. Let's just take a look again. So if you divide by 2, then you remove the last digit. That's the integer division by 2, or the shift to the left. Sorry, not to the left, to the right by 1. Yeah. So whatever the number is, however big it is, dividing by 2 just removes the last bit. And if you have already the count for whatever was to the left, yeah, for whatever is remaining after removing this last bit, then you can use it. It's an equal. You get basically a number which is equal to this result of this integer division by 2, and you only need to add the last bit that you have removed, which can be either 0 or 1. And how do you get it? By using this bitwise AND. That's it. That's the whole philosophy behind it. But of course, it's not that easy to observe. Now we beat 95%. It's something that for most people, myself included, had to be stated by someone else, but it's easy to understand once you try to learn it, why it is the case.